Ukraine estimates that Russian aggression in the country has led to $50 billion in damages. Basic infrastructure in the region has been destroyed. It's on the verge of an ecological disaster. And the total human loss in the conflict so far is estimated at more than 10,000 lives. And with constant ceasefire violations, that number continues to rise with no end in sight. Russia has not refused to enact long-term plans of maintaining controlled instability in eastern Ukraine. It continues to deliver cargo intended for military use, which is delivered by cars and railway. Rows of military weapons and equipment, so-called humanitarian convoys, arrive in eastern Ukraine. One issue that remains a sticking point in ongoing peace talks: prisoner exchanges. It's a constant topic for discussion when the Trilateral Contact Group meets in Minsk. Over the course of the conflict, hundreds of prisoners have been swapped, and according to Ukrainian officials, militants in the east routinely demand the release of criminals with little or no ties to the conflict. Representatives of the occupied territories, which are controlled by the Russian Federation, insist on including people who have nothing to do with the conflict in the release lists. Obviously, the Ukrainian side can't agree to Russian blackmail, and the Minsk group is not a platform for the release of all criminals. Only people who fall within the scope of the Minsk agreements can be released. Russia's aggression doesn't end in eastern Ukraine. The occupation of Crimea has led to accusations of serious human rights abuses through what Ukraine calls a, quote, campaign of cultural erasure through the Russification of the peninsula. Human rights activists see it as a possible blueprint for future annexations. The Russian Federation uses the occupied peninsula as an experimental place to conduct a unique experiment on integrating annexed territory. Among the components of this experiment are imposing Russian citizenship, the total suppression of rights and freedoms to keep the population obedient. And NATO sees defending Ukraine and Georgia, who was similarly invaded in 2008, as defending its own values.
In a sense, they are not only a front line for European and global security, but also a front line for democracy. For this reason, supporting Ukraine is supporting our common values of democratic countries. Defending Ukraine is defending ourselves, our freedom, our security.
Ukraine continues to work with its Western partners, including NATO, to find a peaceful settlement to the conflict. For now, that's mostly through economic sanctions on Russia, but aid and defense deals are expected to expand in the near future.